there's something which I call trauma reset intensive. Okay. And it's basically it's an intensive kind of program to help people through, but really to be honest, I don't really enjoy doing it, but it's to help people through a very dark, incredibly, to channel them through the depth of the shadow. And I just recently assisted, I did that with someone not so long ago, but it's even probably it's been under a week, but it is so draining. It so weighs on the soul it's something I'd kind of, through various practices, and just kind of come up with a method. And it's a mixture of stuff. So we're talking an element of certain NLP practices, a bit of CBT, hypnosis, some spiritual elements, dua, things like this. There are some unorthodox elements to it, and it's incredibly intensive. We're talking 10, 12 hours non-stop, and leading to immense, a kind of like a deconstructing the barriers and setting into motion a release. It is really, really intense. I mean, you're talking repetitive breakdowns and this is for victims of immense trauma, not just, I suppose anybody could, but it's not really, we're talking really serious, the darkest of the dark and the most horrible of experiences. And so I just recently assisted someone through that, and it is so just, it's so refreshing and wonderful to see the healing. You start and you see it more or less. It's not, but you're talking, it's by the end of the intensive, you will start seeing it, and then it will start to grow. Often in people, it will be an inner child that is then at that stage released away from the, rescued from the abyss, to now rapidly grow and heal in the world. But it's so much on you. And because in psychology you have something of therapists, which in different branches of psychology they will refer to as, for example, transference. It's a bit like that. So transference is obviously, but there's an element of but that's more so in psychoanalysis. It's highlighted in Freudian therapies of how people projecting, and then how the therapist could also introject but not exactly that, but you see what you have is you have a visceral cleanse, a purge of the soul. It's actually purged, and there's just sometimes so much darkness, and it is incredibly just like weighty in weightysome in its load, and it's tiring, and days will go by and you'll still, and there is obviously a slight series of an aftercare, but ya salam, may Allah guide all. But it's really good to see that, wow, people emerge on their path to healing now. But it makes you also think that, wow, how do have these people even been surviving? It's so much that of just so much darkness. Honestly, I don't, I can't go into, I can't say, but it's just unimaginable, unfathomable, an abyss. But ya salam, may Allah grant shifa to each and all. But I think it is important in life, people in their own way, on their own paths, seek for a kind of cleanse, a visceral, spiritual, a purging of the soul in that sense. They say la purga, a purgative experience.